everyone, Sam here from the Genuine Futures family alongside
Sara from the Inspiring Futures family.
Well, it's absolutely, to meet like-minded people with passion, purpose, to support our children and young people. Sara, we've had the most incredible morning this morning. Your passion, your determination to support the next generation is unwavering. Mine is unwavering. How has this morning been?
It's been, I just love it. I love it when I meet someone who is just like us, who gets what it's about, who gets the importance of the experiences you've got, who gets that this is about giving young people the opportunities that they're just not getting naturally placed in front of them, and how hard you've got to work to do that and put that in place. And to meet people who are like me, who are purposely going out trying to put that forward so those opportunities are there and they can start to grow and be valued in their community and value their community. When I meet someone like that, I get overexcited, I'm not going to lie.
No, it's amazing. We know there's a crisis, Britain is broken, and we can't deny the fact that so many young people are a million. They say a million, but I think that figure is much higher than that, Sara. And when young people maybe join college, they drop out. There's so much now that young people are suffering with. Why was it that you wanted to set up Inspiring Futures? What was it?
It came from a lot of different things. It came from experiences of working in education and realising that it just wasn't working well enough for a lot of young people who struggled through the circumstances, through what was being laid in front of that. And it also came from my own lived experiences as well of having people in my family who were around criminal justice, who again had failed in their education system. It had failed them. They'd not been able to get through it, and realised that the opportunities you get when you're younger will more than likely dictate how the next 20, 30, 40 years of your life are played out. And if you don't get those opportunities, then it's really hard to make that happen for people. And then we look at systems which are breaking. We look at the prison system. We look at the health service with mental health. We look at the school systems. We look at social care. All of these systems repeatedly, all we ever hear is they're broken, they're broken, they're on their knees. And they're on their knees because we've let things build up for so long now. It's become almost, in people's eyes, impossible to deal with it. But if we can go back to some real basic understandings, so what matters, what's important, what makes us all thrive, what makes us do that, then we can start getting results back in again, and we can start to win back those little bits of our communities that we've lost on those little opportunities that just weren't there. And actually, there's some cracking young people I get to see who maybe in many people's eyes written off. They've just not had that chance put in front of them, and their circumstances dictate some really difficult challenges. And it shouldn't be that way, and it doesn't have to be that way. It's not going to be perfect, but you know what? There's lots of people out there like us who do want to make this happen and who are willing to go above and beyond. It's not a 9-to-5 problem. It's not a school problem. It's not a social care problem. It's everyone's issue to try and fix for a generation, and I say this a lot, who are going to be deciding on our older age. So we should be investing so much in this generation because they are coming through. And if we don't, then it's going to impact beyond where we're just sat now, and it's already challenging enough.
So we are at risk of another lost generation. We've heard it so many times before, and no one's listening, Sara, and nobody listened to me. Nobody's listening to the young people. They're just putting labels on young people. But we're truly grateful to the National Lottery and being part of their community learning panel. And it's good to speak to you today, Sara, because I'm going to be taking some of these discussions that we've had to the National Lottery and how they should be investing in Inspiring Futures and Genuine Futures. And we're already talking about some exciting projects that we've been doing, the successes we've been sharing with you with our We Shine Any Car, the youth-led project, how that can be brought here to Chester, can change more lives. Why do you think the funders and the commissioners should be listening to our stories and coming visiting us?
because we've actually got the proof of what we're doing works, and it's not coming from what we're saying, it's coming from the very people who are accessing it that we're trying to put those changes in place for. When you've got young people who are asking to be on programs, who do not want to leave programs because they feel a sense of belonging, they feel a sense of achievement, they feel a sense of progress that they're not usually getting, then those are the types of programs, alongside other things that are available in communities. I'm not saying we are the be all and end all, but those are the types of programs that you need to keep going, because young people are naturally inquisitive, but they're naturally rejecting in a lot of things as well. If they don't like something, they won't do it. So if we've got something that's working and is working for the wider community, the bigger picture of life that we're trying to put there for young people to see, this is what the challenges, you're going to face challenges. How you deal with them will dictate how your life goes. By funding projects like yours, like ours, which are literally getting out there right on that, and we're working across areas that people don't want to work across. We're working across kids that don't want to be in education. We're working with kids who are caught up in criminal justice. We're working with kids who are aggressively disengaged from services because they've had negative experiences of services. So to try and re-engage those young people and give them something that they actually see as a value to engage with, if there's organisations doing that who can then create better outcomes for those young people, and they're saying it, you'd be mad not to invest in it. And I guarantee you'll be like us, where you don't need a lot of money to do it. You just go and do what you do, because you've got loads of people who want to just help you do that as well.
Absolutely. I think it's about, it all starts with listening. And we've said this previously to the lottery, and also one of our other funders, Sara, the Co-op Foundation, they're big on youth justice. They're saying, stop punishing young people, sending them to youth prisons. What happens when you put bad behaviour with bad behaviour? You're just going to get more escalation of bad behaviour. Actually, we see beyond those labels.
100%.
Labels are damaging. We've seen, young children in primary schools being labelled, and them labels have lifelong challenging effects for that young child.
Yeah.
And they lose trust with the system, like you said. And we have to, what we're doing is actually, all those young people now in the youth justice, in the children's homes, in the children care, those who are NEET, they actually feel like they've got no hope. But what actually they need is trusted adults.
Yep.
And that's what we're building here, isn't it?
Exactly. And I can remember on many occasions, because we do quite an intense support above what most people, I think, would think you provide. We make sure that we've got phones on at night time. We make sure we've got phones on at the weekend. We make sure if there's a problem, that someone is available to go and deal with that in that moment. It's no good dealing with it sometimes 36 hours later, because that moment has passed for that person. They need it in the instant. But those very sort of givings, the things that you're willing to do, those are how you keep those connections going. And I've sat on many, many panels when we've done things with young people where people have gone, but what happens when that's pulled away? And my response is, well, if I'm working with a young person and I'm still here and we're still doing what we're doing, then that door is always open. If someone needs that continued support and advice and friendship sometimes,
yes,
just if they need that, then we should be able to be here to provide that. I've got young people that do not work officially with us who still pick up the phone and I've had one lad who phoned me the other week whose dog was having some puppies and messaged me at 2:00 in the morning to say, I'm not sure it's right, but I picked up the phone, because you're acting almost as multiple roles. You're becoming mentors, you have like a parenting role within that. We're all ultimately, it takes a village mentality, something I strongly believe in. We've all got something to give, and if you're a care kid who hasn't got that, then you shouldn't be dragging that away just because they turn 18 or if you've made your stamp in someone's life, like if it was a friendship or anywhere else, you try to keep that going because you value it. I'm privileged to work with the people I've worked with. They are outstanding, and I see kids now who are coming through and I'm so made up to see those kids. It's like, yes. Is another one that we're going to get to work with here. I think it's an honour to be allowed to be put in that position, and I think funders seeing the types of people that we are and who we want to work with and the teams we build to come and do that, I think when they see that and they see the actual buzz of what we're doing and the vibe about what we're doing, then I think that's a really good thing. But it's actually getting people to come and see it's actually quite hard, because people just want to read an application, which is really boring, and it doesn't always showcase what you're doing the best, you know?
Absolutely. So this is a message to funders, and you can see the passion from us both. We want the funders to start listening to us. We want the youth justice services and those who are in these positions of power. Come and see what we're doing. Come and have a conversation with us. Come and have a coffee with us and start investing in the future of our next generation. So it's bye from me.
And it's bye from me. And I hope this has some impact.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.